Pork Butt Paradise here, doing some grilling hacks for Smithfield's Great Rib Rivalry. We have a typical kettle grill here, and our first hack is going to be lighting the grill. As you can see, we have a chimney lighter filled with lump charcoal, and most people use newspaper to light these. But what if you don't have any newspaper? What if you're a millennial and you don't read the newspaper? Well, what you can do is grab your favorite corn chips, put that in the bottom, and light those up. And this should get the fire going, no problem. So it's been about 10 minutes and we've dumped the charcoal into the grill. And if you take a look how the charcoal is set up here, you can see that we have the hot charcoal on one side of the grill and a pan on the other side of the grill. This hot zone, that's for your searing and your direct cooking. This other zone, that's for your indirect cooking. So if I were to put the grate here, if I were doing ribs, I would put ribs here on the indirect side, and halfway through the cooking I'd spin them around 180 degrees to make sure both sides were next to the fire at some point, but I would leave them on the indirect side. So our next tip here is we're going to add a smoke element to this fire. So what you can do is you can grab a few wood chunks and then wrap it in foil. So what that does is it prevents air from getting to the wood chunks, and it'll prevent the wood chunks from flaring up. So you wrap it in foil, poke a few holes with a skewer or something, and then place that right on the fire. Our next grilling hack is cleaning the grates. You have to make sure your grates are clean when you're grilling. That prevents things from sticking and old food getting on what you're cooking, and it's kind of gross if you have dirty grates, so you got to make sure they're clean. But what if you don't have a grill brush? Well, what you can do is take a piece of foil after the grate is hot, crumple it up, take a pair of tongs, and then use this to clean your grates. And that should get any kind of bits of food or anything else off of the grates. The other method is you can take an onion and use an onion. So what you have here is the onion has ridges and also moisture and some oils that'll help break down some of those bits and clean the grates off. The next grilling tip or hack is keeping your grates oiled. An easy way to do that is take some paper towels, tie them in a little bundle of a little bowl of oil. I like to use peanut oil because it has a high smoke temperature, and just run those over those grates. The more you do this, the better seasoned your grates will be, and the less likely anything is to stick on these grates. Our next tip is if you're making skewers. A lot of people have these skewers available, and the problem with these is they're round and they're small. So what happens when you're trying to cook something is as you're flipping it over, you know, your meat or vegetables will rotate on the skewer, and it can be pretty frustrating. So what you do is you double up these skewers. I've put some aluminum foil on this side, and that'll help prevent these wooden skewers from burning. So our shrimp are just about done. As you can see, the skewers haven't burnt at all, being over the indirect side with the foil. And now we're going to take these off. Our next hack is when you're grilling steaks. So a lot of people, what they do is They just have a hot fire on the entire grill, and they just scorch the heck out of the steaks. What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna reverse sear these steaks. So what you do is you take the steaks and you place them over the indirect side of your grill, and you cook them on the indirect side until they're just below the temperature you're looking for, and then you sear them up on the direct side. So our steaks are just about where they need to be. They're almost at the temperature we're looking for. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them over to the direct side for, creating some of that good brown deliciousness. So we're going to sear them up on both sides. So our steaks are done, and it's time to take them off. And as you can see, they look delicious. Our last tip today is using grill baskets. You can get these at camping supply stores or big box stores, and it really takes a lot of the hassle out of flipping meat over. So if you have a good amount of meat on your grill and you're sitting there flipping each piece over, what you can do with this is just flip everything all at once, and you're good to go. I hope you've enjoyed watching our video and maybe learned something new you can use next time you're grilling. I'm Pork Butt. Have a delicious day in paradise.